Welcome, everyone. Last night, Spencer posted some exciting announcements about how the next season of ranked play for Vibes is going to work. And I just wanted to review them together to keep you up to date on all the new information and also to give my opinion on some of the most exciting elements. The first change that's happening is how the ranking formula works at the dummy thick rank. The current system that we had for season 0, while it was still pretty good at figuring out who was the better player, it really prioritized grinding hard. And so the new system is going to have more of an elo element, which means that you'll get more points for beating better players. And this should really enable the best players to kind of get to the top of the ranking, even if they don't play as many games as the worst players. But they also did something really clever, which is modify the formula in some way to prevent one of the big problems with elo systems, which is that when you're a high ranked player, it's often very scary to queue at a time when you can't play other high ranked players, because if you then lose to a low ranked player, you can take a big hit. And in trading card games, no matter how good you are, there's still some portion of the games you're going to lose just because you have a bad draw. So I think this is a really good change, and I also really like the way that the team has been constantly playing with this formula. Right, we're still early in the game, and as the game grows, the right formula will change. Like right when we have a player base of 500,000 people, we'll be able to have a different type of formula than we do right now when the player base is still small and growing. I also really like the fact that they're adding some sort of decay function because otherwise, right, you can just get a really high ranking and just sit on it. So I think this will be really good, especially because this next season is 3 months long. And so we really don't want just someone to get a really high ranking at the beginning and just sit on it the whole season. All right. The next point is that everyone's elo basically starts when they get to dummy thick. This is also really cool because one of the funnest parts of playing a trading card game is just having fun and messing around with stuff. And if you know that on your climb to dummy thick, it doesn't actually matter, it's going to allow a lot of people just to kind of let loose in these next few weeks and just kind of have fun with the game, which is something that I do think we lost a little bit in that final grind at the end of season 0. I know I did, where I was just hyper focused on making sure to place well. And so I like this change as well. And also, there's going to be a full reset. So in other games I've played, right, you don't reset all the way back to the beginning. But I think in this case, it's a good idea just because season 0 was a lot of people joined at different points in time. So there were some people that joined like super early, some people that joined super late. And so I think it's okay to do a full reset and like the climb to dummy thick again. It's going to be a good break. It's going to be fun. So not a big deal at all. And I think as the game grows, eventually we probably won't want to have full resets. But for now, I think it's a great decision. All right, then there's going to be a week long pack bonanza. So pack bonanzas are amazing. Even though I did spend some real money on cards, the majority of my collections have come from pack bonanzas. And so this is such a great tool for new players to gain bigger and bigger collections. And this pack bonanza is going to be a whole week long. In the past, they've usually been only a weekend. So I'm really looking forward to this because the more cards that more people have, the more competitive we're going to be as an ecosystem, which is going to just make us all better players. The next thing is that they're going to introduce a new type of booster pack, which has duplicate protection. This is, I think, probably actually the most exciting announcement here because one of the problems we have right now is we don't have trading enabled on the cards. And I really sympathize with the decision that the team has made on that because getting the economy right is extremely important. And the economy of this type of game only works if, right, there's more people joining the game at a higher speed than new cards are getting added. But at the same time, we want to give a lot of new cards to people because otherwise we're not going to get a healthy metagame with lots of varieties of decks. So, and there's another thing with the economy where once you kind of set up the economy, it's really hard to change because people start like investing their real money into that economy. And so it's a very delicate balance. And so this I think is a really good like bridge solution where we're going to have these special pack types that if you buy them, you'll know you have duplicate protection on the rares and epics. So for example, in my collection, I'm only missing a few epics, but it's kind of like frustrating when I open a regular pack and I get an epic I already have 10 of. And so this will enable people to really fill out their collection. It's not clear yet if they're going to be purchasable with just gems or gems or gold, but I think either way is okay because the other thing just to keep in mind is that like while it's good to support free to play players, right? We need to have people paying real money into the game because that's what enables the game to keep getting developed. So this definitely seems like a feature that could be kind of paywalled, although I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. I also think that, right, when you think about free to play should, in my opinion, it should be possible to compete, but it should, you know, it's okay if it's a little tough. And right, it definitely is possible to have a complete collection right now, even without duplicate protection, just by playing a lot. So the free to play path in this game is already super strong. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Um, Obviously, I would prefer it to be with just gold, just because I have a lot of gold, but I completely understand if it would be, behind gems as well. And for this last bullet point, they're just calling out how quick their development has been, and I completely agree. Like, every week they're shipping something new. I know that sometimes it can be frustrating when there's bugs in the game, but we have to keep in mind that, first of all, this is still the alpha. So, there's going to be there's going to be bugs. And on top of that, things have gotten a lot better. Plus, they are always doing new stuff. Like they just introduced playing like friendly challenges, which is going to open up a whole slew of stuff. Like, for example, community tournaments can happen. They always have special events. And so, overall, I personally have been extremely impressed by the speed of development, and I'm looking forward to what's coming next. All right, now let's move on to their announcements around the ending of season 0. So, they're doing a little more checking just to remove bots and stuff like that. So, I think that's a good step because, right, one thing we want to make sure is to have bot removal. And that's also another reason why they have to be really careful about the economy because if they set up a system where it's possible to extract money out of the economy, then it's going to really incentivize a lot of people to create a lot of bots to try to maximize, taking money out of the system. So until they have really good automated systems for that, I think it's going to be good to give the team space around that. So one of the rewards for season 0 is that everyone who made it to Dummy Thick is going to get the special Dummy Thick playmat, and so that's going to go out apparently this week, or there's going to be an email going out this week to collect the shipping information. One thing I will say is please be very, very careful that you don't click on any phishing emails. And so, yeah, I really appreciate that they're going to post in the Discord the address it's coming from. And again, that's just security 101. Be very careful. Make sure you cross reference with Discord that the email came at the right time if you made it to Dummy Thick. And personally, I'm very excited for my playmat. I'm not sure where I'm going to hang it, but it's going to go somewhere in my office. And I'm sure it's going to look super dope just because the art in this game is always amazing. Next, let's talk about the top 8 spots in season 0. So, just a reminder that the top 8 spots all qualify to go to the World Championships, and the top spot gets a bye in the first round at the World Championships. Luckily, I was able to hold on to the top spot. I was there most of the season, but it got really intense at the end, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. So I want to just give a huge shout out to all 8, or I guess all the 7 other people. They all played really, really well and really, really hard all the way until the end. I also want to give special thanks to Barbecue, Top Hat Panda Magician, and Caution Fun. Those 3 were very instrumental in helping me be able to achieve what I did this season. Um, so yeah, thanks a lot, and I really appreciate all of the support, both emotionally and with deck lists and stuff like that. It also sounds like there's going to be some sort of in-game rewards for anyone who participated in season 0. My guess is is going to be some kind of promo card, and I really love that about what the team does as well. Like their dedication to having all sorts of fun cosmetic promo cards for all sorts of different things really is going to make the game more interesting and more collectible over time. They also had a surprise announcement that everyone in the top 16 is going to get a special physical sketch Baron card. If you're not aware, for the physical version of the game, the sketch cards are the highest rarity, and for every card, there's usually 10 sketch cards. For this physical Baron, it sounds like there's going to be 64 handed out this year. I guess because they said this year, it sounds like maybe there's going to actually be 64 next year as well. So it's not clear. Like the other sketch cards all have a hard cap of 10. This one doesn't may not have a hard cap, so it's not really clear. So I guess be careful with that when assessing how rare it really is. But either way, it's really exciting that this goes down to the top 16. There's a few people like Bonk and the DNA and a bunch of other players that were in places 8 through 16 that are very, very skilled players who worked very hard. And so it's good to see them get some sort of recognition as well. Um, then on top of that, I really like one of the things that really sets Vibes apart from other games is that there's the physical game and the digital game, and they're like not really connected. Like it's not like the assets are one to one connected, but there's a lot of like interplay between the two. And so this is another example of really bridging that gap between the physical and the digital. And so I personally don't have any physical cards yet. So this is going to be my first physical card. And it's a really exciting one to start with. The next thing is the Pengu rewards are going to get distributed this week. Um, yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be an airdrop, not a claim, which is really amazing because whenever there's claims, there's all sorts of opportunities for getting fished or having going to the wrong website and getting your wallet drained or something like that. So airdrops are really the way to go. So I really appreciate the team going through the effort to make it an airdrop. Um, it's also really exciting that we're going to get some rewards for playing. You know, this is one of the beauties of having a Web3 game, which is that you actually can get some like monetary value out of playing it. So yeah, it hasn't been announced yet how deep the rewards will go, like who will be eligible for them, nor what the amounts will be. I think this is something just to be ready that no matter what it's going to be, there's going to be people that are upset. But I think with these type of things, you really like make sure to set your expectations appropriately. Like if you're expecting that it's going to be life changing money, it probably won't be. But it's just I always think of it just as a nice bonus. I certainly don't play this game because I'm trying to get money out of it. If I really needed money, I would be getting another job. So I play this game because I love it and it's really fun. And if I get some extra bonuses along the way, that's great. All right, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.